It's garbage like this, what's left of an old crumbling fiberglass boat. Most of them have already been hauled out of the Alouette this week, but there are still some in the water, evidence of more than half a century of neglect. This is what this spot looked like 4 months ago, a mess of abandoned junk.
Dock and debris.
Mark Karras grew up along the river, swimming, kayaking, and cycling along the dikes. Now he's on the board of directors with the Alouette River Management Society.
There's fiberglass boats with engine compartments, with fuel tanks, transmissions, all sorts of contaminants, fiberglass and styrofoam on board. So it became a little bit more alarming to me over time, especially when I was kayaking and I could see what was below the water level.
Karras says beyond this short section, less than a kilometer near the mouth of the river, it's pristine.
Any of the ecosystem salmon, the entire fishery has to navigate this environmental disaster that's at this end of the river.
So Karras and his group started trying to talk officials into doing something. After more than a year of advocacy, the city of Pitt Meadows and Transport Canada agreed to deal with it. The job has been contracted to a company from Brentwood Bay on Vancouver Island.
We do this all up and down the coast of British Columbia.
Adam Coolidge's crew will spend a week here. He says when they're done, about 200 tons of stuff will be removed from the Alouette. It will be taken to a sorting facility, then mostly tossed in a landfill.
Cleaning it up, it does feel good, right? And, you know, it's kind of sad that it has to get to this level before somebody says, hey, what's going on here? But, you know, that's everywhere.
Transport Canada is funding this project through its Navigation Protection Program. The agency declined to say how much it's costing to clean up the Alouette River. This is one river that feeds into another river that flows into the Fraser and finally into the ocean. It's a small part of a much bigger problem in BC.
Basically, it's all the products that were built in the 40s and 50s that have now just reached life expectancy and has died. And so we basically go along and clean it up.
Coolidge says when this job is done, he'll be moving on to another one in another BC waterway. Rafferty Baker, CBC News, Pitt Meadows.